Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Amasis24 here, and we're going to go straight to our last segment on understanding depression. And this segment is going to be about the stigmatization effects. Now, now this is the thing, right? We always have this thing where, as though the first thing we think about depression is that it's sad, that it's bad, and everything else in between. And nobody wants to be depressed. And if you are depressed, some people even try to make fun of you. Some people feel overly sorry for you. You got to hold yourself accountable and also willing to learn more about your depression and just facing it straightforward. You know, everybody suffers through depression. There's nothing wrong with going through something that you feel the need that your mind is taking you to. It's okay. It's not like it's the end of the world. But in this segment, I'm going to speak more about the effects of this stigmatization and how things work. And let's go straight into it, because I know this is going to be something that I'm personally excited about, and we finally going to get to a point where, though, everything is going to line up to my previous videos to now. So let's go for it. So we have 5 steps. The first step, I would say, normalize conversation. It's good to bring awareness to depression and to just anything containing mental health. It'll help everybody else and also help you learn more about yourself. Speak openly about mental health. It is real as physical health. Share stories, you know, your own or other stories, to reduce shame. It is great because when you share your story to other people, people tend to open up as well. And then we all become a really great, big, happy family. We become more aware of what it is that we may lack on that somebody else may know. And we could just pretty much grow as a unit, because holding everything in, not letting things out, just making sure that nobody else see you stressed or upset or mad or sad or anything like that, is going to cause you to be depressed. So you really have to consider this, because if you're out here making everybody else happy and not your mental health, then guess what? You're not doing yourself justice, and you're not doing everybody else around you justice, because you're holding something in that you know you have to let out. Like I always say, let it flow, let it go. You let it out, say what you need to say, and then after that, you know, you got to bring it up if you don't want to. It'll be optional. It'll be something that you can teach others if they're going through the same issue that you're going through. This is the whole reason why normalizing the conversation is definitely key. Step number 2. Use respectful, non-judgment languages. And I think that is something that we need to practice more, because some of the times when we speak negatively and we don't know how it would affect the next person. Say person living with depression instead of saying depressed person, because when you're saying person living with depression, you're giving that person hope to actually do better. And if you say depressed person, it's like you're putting this person as that depressedness, if that makes sense. You're leading that person to be just depressed. Like, he's just a depressed person, that's it. You know, but if you're living with depression, you give that positive way of saying, okay, we're living with depression, but now we're going to fight it. So you definitely have to keep that part in mind. Avoid terms like, you know, crazy or weak. It kind of perpetuate the stigma. So you don't want to say these words, because most of the time, especially a person that's recovering from depression, they're going to always have that thought in their mind. But the less you say it to that person, the better they will become, the more upbeat they will be, and you'll be surprised what type of person they are inside. So just keeping that in mind. Now, this is something that I kind of like the most, and this is something that I'm currently doing myself, is educate yourself and others. Learn facts about depression, and it's not a character or a flawed choice. Because a lot of people, they go out here, they say that they're into something, and they really not into something. You know, you got to take it seriously. You got to make the conversation more broadened, because a lot of people like to hide their depression. They like to hide being in this state of mind, because they try to mask it with this happiness that they got in their brain. And that's not always the case. You know, promote understanding in schools, workplaces, and families. You know, talk about it amongst other people. Try to make sure that everybody is aware of this and how to fight it, and just be more conscious about it, because Like I said, you never know who's going through this. You never know who feel depressed right now. You could be depressed right now. You don't know that, you know? If you're feeling a way where as though you don't want to get off of bed, you don't want to step foot outside, you just want to watch TV all day, stuff like that actually brings in depression. And that is a sign. So we talked about that in the beginning. So you really have to be aware of this and just teach others and learn more about it. It would definitely help you in the long run.
Now, step number 4 is a really big one. Support advocacy and awareness campaigns. It is great to go out and just see what it is that other people have to offer as far as mental health. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It could just be a group of mental health things that everybody else is going through. So like I said, going out there, experiencing it, learning it, taking the initiative to try to be a part of that campaign and awareness is something greater for you and for the community. Participate in Mental Health Awareness Month, World Mental Health Day. So there's months and days. There's, a lot of other activities that you could put yourself into to learn more about it. I'm in a group right now, a mental health group, and Threads. And what I do is pretty much post up my thoughts. I don't have a lot of followers, but still I make sure that I put myself out there and I follow a lot of them to put myself in notice. Make sure that you're consistent with all the facts and information that you have, and then pretty much you will go far. You just have to be very consistent. Support organizations that offer mental health services and education. Sometimes you would have to protest in schools and be like, hey, I would like to have this segment in my organization, or this organization, or whatever it is that you want to advocate in, and have them, do it, because it is very important. It's not a lot of that going on right now. And I think that once we get to a point where as though everybody is aware, it'll be a better place for us to actually just focus on what is right for us. And I wholeheartedly believe this, because a lot of times we just get trapped in whatever it is we get trapped in, and we don't think about outside of ourselves. So let's try to get that done. And that is step number 4. All right, step number 5, last but not least, encourage empathy over judgment. Now, this is important. This may go over a lot of people's heads. This kind of go back to step number 2. Listen without trying to fix someone. Now, when you're talking to somebody and they're going through something, just let them speak. Let them say what they have to say. Not saying you got to be a therapist or a psychiatrist, whatever, but just listen to what they have to say in full. Crying and all, breakdowns and all, just listen to them. Because you never know, there's a little piece that they may reveal to you that you can actually incorporate into making that person feel a certain way. Meaning that if somebody is saying one word, or somebody is, iterating, I don't know, a person, a thing, or something that goes on in that nature, then that would be the core thing that they're speaking of. So you concentrate on that. As far as fixing, you can't fix nobody. You got to kind of let them see it on their own, but just be there for them to guide them through their journey and guide them through the way. Because that's pretty much all we want, is somebody that's going to be there for us when we need help. Offer help, like, I'm here for you, or you're not alone. I say this most of the time. Sometimes you got to just be like, yo, what's going on? I'm here for you. You're not alone. You don't have to do this. You don't have to feel this way. Let's do this. Let's go this. Let's be, sometimes it's good to just put yourself in the shoes of that person and be more empathetic, and then understanding that, at some point you might have felt that way. At some point you might not want anybody to help you. So when you push yourself in a position where as though they're actually talking to you, because a lot of people like that don't like to talk, then you're already in their comfort zone. So all you have to do is just try to guide them through the right direction. And I promise you, at some point, they will listen to you. All right, so we made it to the end of the video. Like I said, I don't want to stop doing this, because this is something that I'm actually happy of doing. I like to share my experiences. I like to share, other people's experiences, and just trying to bring awareness to mental health. I think that is very important to me personally. And I would like to have some type of group or forum in the future, so we can actually talk about our situations and we can help each other out. Again, we're going to go into it more. We may talk about other things other than depression. Just let me know what y'all think that I should do in the comment section below. Again, thank you for watching until the end. Y'all have a nice day, a blessed one. I'm out.